Well, welcome back to Open Exchange. Nuclear energy, controversial. It has been a part of our power energy mix for some time, but it's still not nearly at the stage it could be. Knox Msebenzi, MD of Nuclear Industry Association of South Africa, joins us from Cape Town. Good morning, Knox. Just give us the state of play. As I say, it's been controversial. There are still people who say it's a dangerous source of energy and therefore shouldn't be allowed. In Japan, it's gone out of favor because of the accidents that they've had there. So every now and then there's an accident, but on the other hand, it's clean, and if it's looked after properly, it surely seems the way to go. Where do we sit? What are the perceptions and the plans for nuclear in South Africa now?
Thank you for the opportunity. I think you've put it quite in a very well balanced manner. Just to give you a bit of perspective, we have been generating electricity from nuclear since 1984 at Koeberg. We are currently sitting at something like 5% of our energy mix is nuclear. And in the world rankings, in terms of percentage of nuclear, with France right up there at the top, 70% of nuclear energy or thereabouts is nuclear. We are sitting at number 22, just above Brazil. So clearly, we may want to benchmark ourselves with countries that are doing nuclear. I think the nuclear industry will never pretend that there is any form of technology that is 100% safe. Just walking down the road is dangerous enough. But I think the issue is, how do we manage that? Do we have the technology to manage the safety and to educate the public so that they understand and they buy into the process of going nuclear?
You've been having a big stakeholder meeting yesterday, in fact, on nuclear energy as an option for sustainable energy. Where is the political weight at the moment? Because I think there is a lot of ignorance and prejudice still about nuclear. So in the policy-making area, the people who, in the end, I suppose, have to vote the money or pass the plans, is nuclear in favour? Are we going to see it increase as part of the mix?
The Department of Energy has made it very clear and has repeated many times that the decision by cabinet to go the nuclear has been made. What we call the NEC squared, which is headed by the president. A president does not head the commission when the commission is not going to do something about it. So as far as we're concerned in the industry, it is receiving the serious attention that it deserves, and we have no reason to believe otherwise. In fact, we are very confident that this is going to happen. The DOE was at this stakeholder meeting yesterday, was reinforcing the same sentiments that is the policy of government. A decision has been taken.
Okay, well, it is the policy, but we know these things have long lead times. We have issues with power stations, the coal power stations that were built too late, and now we're paying the cost of that. So if we were to get going now on a nuclear extension, where would it be? How much would it cost? Is the money available?
Those calculations have not yet been done because there are so many variables in determining what the costs are. What the government has said is that by the end of November, they will announce a roadmap, and some of these uncertainties will start to get addressed. It's difficult to cost something that has not been narrowed down. The technology has not been chosen, and the timelines were defined a little while back, and we've lost a bit of time. So all those factors will come into being, and also the cost of capital, where we're going to get the funding. All those factors are not in place. As far as the industry is concerned. Now, therefore, it's difficult for anybody to say what it is, because it is. If we knew the cost up front, what would be the point of a bid? So it's going to be a competitive bid. So we don't know the cost up front. We can people can talk about budgetary figures and so on based on historical information and other programs. But otherwise, at this point in time, there are no concrete figures that we can put on the table.
It does sound as if it's going to be a while before we get a decision to go ahead, and then it's going to take a long time to build a new nuclear facility. As the MD of the Nuclear Industry Association, is your industry ready for this? Has it got the capacity? Because it's been kind of on hold for a while.
The general view is that from industry is that we are as ready as we can be in the absence of an announcement, because as you rightly said, we've been talking about this for a while. To be ready requires resources. if we've been talking about it from 2008, it's very difficult for any shareholder to basically just put money on the table without a concrete program. There is nothing like a project to actually get the industry going and putting resources. But we've done everything that we possibly could in terms of making sure the pipeline of the skills, and we've identified the shortfalls, and we've picked up on learnings from Medupe and Kusile. And so I think going forward, we've got the wisdom of the learnings, and every project, particularly the major projects, civil projects throughout the world, we pick up a lot of learnings. They are not without their problems, but the idea is to manage those challenges as we go forward.
Do you expect some opposition? I mean, the government may have made a decision, but the government also made a decision about tolling freeways. That decision was made and forgotten about. Suddenly, big civic opposition from unions and others has actually stalled the toll road process. So one senses that the controversy of nuclear hasn't gone away, and you may still have to do a bit of lobbying and propaganda with the country as opposed to the government.
Perhaps the issue here is the cause for going nuclear is justified. I think it's much easier to deal with a just cause in terms of providing the people of South Africa with electricity, realizing the vision of the government of providing for everybody in South Africa. Without talking about the toll fees, because I don't know much about that, that's not my area of expertise, but I've got every confidence, and the government, having made the decision, having listened to everybody through the IRP process, and we were invited actually to participate, both the pro and the anti-nuclear, in the review of the IRP process that's going to be next week. So the government has taken into consideration all points of view. It's a democracy after all. That's how we do things. So there could very well be opposition, but we cannot be we cannot have our heads tied down because we fear or expect that there will be any opposition. If we believe in what we're doing, we go forthright and do the things that we believe are right. And we believe that the government has done its due diligence and come to the decision.
Great. Well, that's Knox Msebenzi, who's MD of the Nuclear Industry Association of South Africa, talking to us from Cape Town.